All right, all right, all right. What's up? You are live with Mizz Moodie on blogtalkradio.com. And today, I have Cassie Morales with me of the Bonafide magazine. Cassie, is that you over there?
That's
hey,
me.
how you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
All right. Quick reason why people wonder why I was playing some old Criss Cross songs just now. I just wanted to pay my tribute to Chris Kelly, who passed yesterday. Like, Criss Cross was a big part of my childhood, so I had to do that tribute real quick. But
I can totally understand that. Totally. I grew up with the jump, and that you know?
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I get into the topic, why don't you tell everybody listening right now about the Bonafide magazine? Like, what inspired you to start it, and what's up with the second issue? When should they be expecting it? Just tell us everything right now.
Okay, well, basically, what inspired me to do the magazine was me having an epiphany in my life about, finding myself and really trying to identify who I was, and then I saw everything that was going on the internet in reference to the underground community for the natural hair. And I totally wanted to be a part of it. I was raised in a salon, so I grew up with a lot of complexes in reference to hair and beauty, and also in reference to my family. So all of those things tied together my mission and passion for how I got here to make the magazine. I feel like it's very important for people to see in the mainstream media the photos and the highlight of women who are natural and loving it, because that is what helps to transition the rest of the world into the fact that this is how we're going to be. And if we make it mainstream, it's lovely underground, because it has gotten so much energy, and obviously it's inspired many people to do several different things, not just for myself. And Mizz Moodie, it's several different things. And so that's how I got here to do the magazine. The next issue will be coming out at the end of June. And that we'll be doing it quarterly with some special editions in between.
Okay. And tell everybody when the next model call will be. I know you're all about the everyday woman, so I know you don't actually have to be a professional model to come. Any everyday woman can come, right?
Right. So that's the other aspect of the magazine. The whole core of it is to highlight everyday women who are natural. So the essence is not for you to be a professional model. I mean, if you were that, we do not discriminate against you as well, but that is not what we are specifically aiming for. Here at the magazine, we are aiming for everyday women, because that's what I feel like truly inspires other everyday women. Is something that seems more attainable, something that seems more real. Not made up, not false, more relatable to everyday woman, which is yourself. So everyone can be a Bonafide beauty. You'll basically be saluted as a Bonafide beauty once you become a part of the magazine, and it's something that's more of a collector's item, because it is basically enriched in the community itself.
Okay, one last question. Just let everybody know where they can get the magazine.
Okay, so after today, my husband, he does all of the artwork for the magazine. So after today, Chris is doing the final touches right now, and we will be releasing the website. Sorry, we will be releasing the website for the where the magazine will be sold. It'll be sold off the internet.
Okay. Oh, is that your son in the background?
Yeah, that's my little kid.
Okay.
I'm like running away from him, and Chris is like, yeah, look, no, we'll be selling it from the internet, and that's exactly how it's going. So we're trying to keep it very, like, home business, authentic. I'm trying to go mainstream in the sense of putting it in people's faces, but not in the sense of switching over my mission. Because, sometimes when things get too commercialized, it loses its potency and its, like, rawness of where the heart was. So I don't want to lose that. But we're going to try to make it mainstream in the sense of, look at us, in a publication, which is a mainstream form of media.
Okay.
So it'll be sold up there. And as of right now, you can go to www.facebook.com/Bonafree, BONAFREE, And you can find out more information about the website as well, the exact name and everything, because the Facebook page is where I initially started everything from. So that's where I have a lot of my following from, because that's where I first started everything. So I'm sticking to there and just branching out to the website where we'll be selling T-shirts, because my husband does graphic design, so he will be designing natural hair T-shirts, and he's very good at caricatures, so he makes his own characters. And he loves, like, you know, the essence of a woman. So he draws many different women from in his head, and he draws them with afros, and yeah, it's really nice and unique and different only because it's only in his head. So it's really a unique piece. And we'll be selling those for about $15 to $20 on the internet from the website as well. We'll have packages where you can buy a magazine and a T-shirt for a cheap price. We have subscriptions where you can subscribe to magazines for the entire year, all 4 issues for the year for a cheaper rate. So all of those things will be explained on the website, which will be definitely tonight and definitely tomorrow.
All right, so everybody listening, make sure y'all look out for that. So now I'm going to get into the topic, which is, does the African American community need to be more supportive of their own? Now, where this came from is actually, it stems from my last show, which was, do African American people need to do a better job of, I guess, cleaning up the public image? And part of the conversation was, I guess, my guest then mentioned that, when we, get on or, get money or leave, like, nobody really puts that money back into the community. And I kind of figured, I could expand on that now in its whole own show. So, also, actually, I had this conversation with girlfriends or with, coworkers or whatever, and they say, we'll be so quick to support other people's business, but nobody goes to support the Black-owned business because they're jealous. So now you probably can relate to this because, you have your magazine. So how do you feel? Do you feel like you're getting that support from your own kind? Well, I mean, it's natural hair, so obviously the natural hair community is repping for you, but, like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like that's true that we don't support our own kind, or do you feel like, that's just a stereotype? Like, that's not true?
Actually, through my own personal experience, what I've experienced, I feel like that is somewhat true. Now, it's not every single situation that is there that you encounter, that you experience that, but in my lifetime, it's more so yes than no. So I'm not saying that's every experience, but it's more so yes than no. And the sad part is that obviously we didn't create this thing that we do to each other. But what makes me a little bit upset, I can go into the conversation about how we were conditioned to feel a certain way about ourselves, about each other, da-da-da-da. But the fact that I can even say that and say da-da-da means it's a feel that we've all heard before. And for me, it's so why can't we now rise above that? We've heard it all before. We can't just use it as an excuse now. The fact of hearing it was to hear it to learn and to grow. And so now it seems as though we're not growing from it. We're just saying it all the time. And we're not sticking together. And we're not sticking together. And other cultures, and yes, although we were conditioned this way, we're not sticking together. We're not trying to break that. We are, a lot of the times, I don't want to always say jealous, but we're not sticking together. And I don't want to say it's a specific thing, but I can say that. And then what's sad is that other cultures are not helping us either. So that is partially the reason why we are taking so long to even get, or it's that much harder for us to get where we want to go, because our own cultures are not helping us. And then, of course, the outside culture is not helping us. So how are we getting? So that's why now within the Black culture, you feel as though there are a lot of games that have to be played. And it makes us more of the crab in the bucket kind of vibe.
Yeah,
now I get
what you're hinting at. Basically, you're saying we were conditioned that it's basically a byproduct of slavery because the slave masters kind of had us turned against each other. And they had us selling each other, like in Africa, they had us selling each other. It's like, I won't take you, but, help me get this many people, if whatever. So they kind of had us in that mentality of we have to work against each other. I get what you're saying. My opinion on it is, I mean, to some extent, yeah, we don't support each other, but, it's not so black and white, because in some cases we do. Like,
yeah,
the first, like, I'm thinking about the whole Trayvon Martin thing when he got shot, and everybody was coming around with their hoodies in support. That was one thing. In a previous show, it was referenced that, the Occupy Wall Street thing, and Jay-Z had his shirt Occupy All Streets and didn't give any of that money back to the movement. But then at the same time, I found out today Jay-Z has a scholarship for, kids that can't afford to pay for college. So I'm like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, and Tyler Perry gives a lot back to the community too. But then at the same time, I guess when it comes to everyday people, like, I still kind of see that, well, they don't want to see someone that was once on the same level as them advance because of jealousy. Like, they want them to stay, like,
I mean,
on the same level as them.
I don't want to say that, but I'm sure it is that. Because I really want to hope better. But I'm sure, you know what I'm saying? I have experienced it myself where it has been jealousy. And it's sad because sometimes you don't even understand why it's going on. Because you don't see the perspective of the person why they're jealous. But, you're like, okay. And like you said, even like what you said about Jay-Z and giving back, like you said, we do have occasions where you see genuine giving back at times. But then like I said, in my experience, more so no than yes. Like, you see people that are not helping their own kind that are black more than helping their own kind that are black. And that's what's sad. That's really sad, because no one else is helping us.
All right, I'm going to get to my first caller now. Okay, caller. How do you feel about the situation? Do you feel like we need to do a better job of supporting each other as a community?
Is me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah. Well, first and foremost, I think it's a very interesting topic, and I think it's definitely, one of those topics that's kind of close to home. And I feel like we do need to do a better job of supporting each other, but also just improve on our due diligence in terms of.
Hello? Oh, shoot. His call got dropped. All right, I got another caller anyway. So, all right, while we waiting for him to call back, Shamara. Hello? Okay. What do you think? Do you feel like the African-American community could do a better job of supporting their own?
Definitely. They could do a way better job. I kind of feel like we have like I don't know if you guys mentioned this already, but, we have like a crabs in a barrel mentality. Like, if somebody's, doing something and they're becoming successful and we're just looking at that person, we make all these reasons, like, not to support them or to hate on them, whatever. And it's like, yeah, we definitely need to support each other. I think other races are more unified, especially when it comes to supporting businesses or ventures or anything of that sort.
Right. You know what's so funny? To add to what you're saying about other cultures, with other cultures, it doesn't seem as though they have to like each other personally, right?
Yeah,
so
I know, right?
I feel like within our culture, it's more of a personal, like, if you like someone, that you have to like them to help them. But in other cultures, they just understand that as a race, this is the only way they can grow together. So even if I may not like you, okay, if we are in the work environment, we don't have to be best friends, but we can be civil enough to get along. And if we need to help each other get up, that's what we can do.
Okay, all right. Okay, my first caller calls back, so let me let him finish his point. Okay, caller, Greg.
Yeah, I was
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, we just need to improve in our due diligence, meaning, supporting our own doesn't necessarily mean, you're gonna wait on the line for 2 days to support Michael Jordan to get his sneakers.
That's a good point.
Or even for that matter, support Diddy and getting his Ciroc. There's just different areas in which we can support our own people doing positive things. You know, if we have a good example on a lesser scale would be, you know, choosing a black-owned restaurant over, you know, maybe a fast food chain or something.
Yeah, that's definitely a good example. But back to what you were saying about, I guess, supporting people for a positive cause as opposed to, like, supporting Jordans or supporting Diddy, I think that kind of goes back against the jealousy thing, because I'm like, people aren't really jealous of Diddy or Michael Jordan because they didn't know them personally. Like, I feel like, you know, people that could have, well, I don't know, because, I mean, Diddy will put his own, like, I think Diddy put Luna on because they grew up together or something like that. But I'm like, you know, your friend that, you know, you grew up with maybe decided to, you know, move out the neighborhood and do something positive, then you're going to turn around and hate because you're not where that person is. I kind of feel like, as a people, we're prone to that type of attitude.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, so I feel you. I agree. I agree. What's up, that?
And then kind of like also like people look up, I guess, this kind of ties into the last show because it's like it goes back to people looking up to the wrong people, I think. Like people kind of look up to Jordan, they think they could be like Michael Jordan, or they think they could be like Diddy, but I'm like, let's say somebody's studying to go to law school, they're going to turn around and hate and talking about, oh, you're probably not going to pass the bar anyway, or something like that. Like, we kind of have our priorities messed up as, you know, when it comes to role models, I think.
Or even that, like, I mean, being educated makes you, like, oh, you're trying to be white, or, you know, you're trying to
bougie. Oh, gosh, I do that all the time.
Yeah, or bougie or white terms. It's like, if you're trying to, like, sing or be entertained, without people would be hating on you, they'll be, like, mad hype. Like, oh, yeah, like, if you make it big, you're going to have me going to the Grammys, you're going to be going to parties. Like, everybody glorifies that, like, glamorous life. But if you're trying to do something that's not so, I guess, glamorous or, you know, entertainment related or athlete or be an athlete or something like that, then he would just really, really hate it. And I'm like,
there was this show called on BET. I don't know if they're gonna bring it back anymore. Called Wake Up. It was called Wake Up or something like that. Don't Sleep. That was the name of the show. Don't Sleep. And it was right here in the city, and I was trying to get tickets for people in the Bonafide community to go. But I hadn't seen it come back. And the show specifically talked about the black community. And a lot of people did not. Yeah, TJ Holmes was the host. And a lot of people were not catching on to this show. But I'm sure anyone could go look it up. It was awesome. And it talked about a lot of the things that you were just saying, specifically. How, in the black community, they were even brought up statistics that they were now bringing up about Chicago and how things that are done in the black community people don't know about. And all of a sudden, like when they had it in Connecticut, the shooting, it's a big thing. But young kids are dying on the streets of Chicago every single day, and no one's supporting that. You know, that's what I'm talking about, same as black people, when we talk about supporting each other. As black people, make your community better. We said that Jay-Z made a scholarship. A scholarship is fine, but that's giving out money. I'm talking about longevity. Put a community center in your community. Fun things that you know will help ongoing growth of your culture. Not whoever goes to school. I mean, yeah, that's cool. It's money. But I'm saying something that has real standing that will last throughout time. You know what I mean?
I think will.i.am was talking about that too on the Katie Couric show. He was saying, you know, that people leave and don't really, you know, they're always quick to say, you know, I'm repping this place or I'm repping that place, but they don't really go back to those communities and put much back in those communities. And I think that was mentioned on my last show too, where somebody's like, Marcy Project is still Marcy Project. Jay-Z didn't do nothing with Marcy Project. Like, you know, he could have cleaned it up and, like, you know, I don't know, did something to help that community, but it's pretty much still the same as it was, you know, before he left. And it's like, you know.
Oh, honestly, it's not really that much the same, because my husband, he grew up in Tompkins, which is right across from Marcy. And so his grandma still lives there, so we visit all the time. And you know why it's changing? Because certain people are putting money into that community, and it's completely changing. Completely. Like, at 12 o'clock at night, you see people of different races riding on bicycles.
Oh, well, then that's not us doing it. Then. Wow, that's crazy. But that's not happening all over the
Someone else is pouring the money into the community because they wanted to change, and now they're pushing us out. They're pushing
right.
them out.
Right.
And that's where it's at, because if those rappers who had made money in those communities had put money back into the communities, doing different things with education, community growth, things of that nature, educating the community, not just education, academics, educating the community about politics, about the race, about social issues, about in general. Then they would have had growth within that community, and they wouldn't have been able to take it over the way they did. They were taken over in that manner because now they want to clean it up. And now they're going to push you out to clean it up.
Right.
You know, and it's sad. I get upset every time I go there, and I'm like, 12 o'clock at night. I remember years ago when me and my husband together for 12 years. I remember years ago when I was dating him, I walked down the street like, Cassie, be careful. And now people are down riding bicycles 12:30 at night. I'm dropping grandma home. I'm like, wow, this is really different now.
That's just happening all over Brooklyn, though.
Crazy.
Everywhere. They're trying to turn it into Manhattan Part 2, basically, which is good and bad in some ways. Good because, I mean, you're right, it is safe to ride a bike down the street, but now the people that want to live here, can't afford to live there anymore. And so they're pushing. Then where are we gonna go? It kind of sucks. But anyways, I have about less than 5 minutes left. So I don't really have much else to say on the topic. So if, anybody else, does anybody else have anything to say? All right. So I'm about to wrap it up. Is that your son again?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm about to wrap it up, so I'd like to thank everyone who called in. I'd like to thank everybody who's listening right now. And Cassie, thank you for coming on the show and sharing your opinion and telling everybody about the magazine. Anybody listening, make sure y'all go hit up that Facebook page and go get you a copy of Bonafide magazine. And I will see y'all next week.